Here comes the detailed tutorial of how I made this beautiful hand fan. So first thing you have to do is to cut your boning. I made use of length 18 inches, so you measure it using your tape and then you cut it out. So you're going to cut them into 4 places, so we have them in 4 places. So next thing we have to do is to wrap our bias around it just as seen. So you have to be doing this till you get to the edge of the boning. So I'll be doing it for each of the boning piece that I've cut. So now when you get to the edge, you're going to just place it like this and then use your gum to gum it just like seen. So after gumming it, it's going to stay in place like so. And here we have our 4 wrapped boning. Yeah, so we are going to be working with these 4. So now this is our net. The net is is 1 yard, though I didn't exhaust it. You're going to be putting the boning like so, and you place it at the edge of the net just like you are doing a bias cut. Then you fold it like so and try to make a very nice split just as seen. And then after doing that, you're going to use your thread. Yes, you're going to use your thread to tie it very well. Make sure you tie it very well so that it's not loose. So after tying it, next thing you have to do is to take your scissors and cut out the thread. Then you make sure you arrange the net very well on it and cut it out. So I'll be doing another one so we can all see it very well. Now after placing the boning like this, you try to make a very nice plate just as seen, you see. So after doing that, next thing again is to hold the edge very well just as seen, and then take your thread and tie it very well. Can you see? You're going to be tying it very well. Now after tying it very well, you make sure all places are well secured, and then you go ahead to cut out your thread and then cut out the net just as we did for the first one. So I'm taking my time to explain this part so that you all can see it very well. After doing that, I have 2 here and I have 2 here. So I'm trying to part them like sew 2 together and sew 2 together. This is the second one that I am sewing together, and I like joining them together. After that, cut out the thread and then try to place them together like this in any shape of your choice and still sew it. Not like you just use your needle and try to tack it, sorry, not sew. Then you can now continue from here. So now after doing that, you're going to cut your paper like so, sorry, your carton like so. I have this carton is about 4 inches of length starting from the midpoint. So I'll be marking 4 inches all around just like we are cutting a circle, right? So look at the way I'll be placing it. I'll mark for 4 inch all around, and then I'll use my scissors and cut now it. You're going to use your pen to mark all around so that you can be able to cut it.
Food for me to eat, so let's eat together before we continue.
So after marking it all around, we just go ahead to cut it following the trace of our pen. Now this is what we have after cutting it. So you want to trim them very well so that everything blends together. So after trimming it, next thing we are going to do is to apply our gum and then place it on it very well. So I'm using the 2 gum. You can use 1 gum, I don't know why, but you can use 1 gum. I don't know, I'm using 2, but maybe now because I get too much gum. After gumming it just like so, now next thing for you to do is to place it on our well tipped boning with nails, right? Then you have to be sewing it all around. This part is not easy, but then you just have to be very, very careful. Like you sew it all around and make sure all places are well sewn. Now this is what we have after sewing it all around. So next thing I will have to do is I'm gonna have to cut all this appliqué or all this piece of lace from my remaining lace that I used for a dress I made recently. So I'll go ahead to put the gum on the surface of the piece and then try to place it like so. So when I place the gum on it, and then I also put the gum at the place I want to place it, and then do it all around, and that is all. So bye. So this video is a very long video and I try to segment it so that I can split it to 4 minutes. So any part you don't understand, you can draw my attention, then I'll post that particular segment. Please like, comment, share and follow for more. Bye.